In this week's episode, it's raining and we've reached the off-season at the Disneyland Resort. But have we? We've got more details on the Main Street refurbishments. And did we also hear that they'll be throwing some shade at Dumbo? AP popcorn buckets are back, but are they worth the price this time around? The Star Wars AR experience is open now at Downtown Disney, and we want to know what everyone thinks. Also, Run Disney, Lego Solo, SoCal discounts, and more on this virtual episode of the MousePIRE podcast.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Diggs.
I'm Tim. Welcome to MousePIRE, your source for Disney, Star Wars, and everything in between. This is the podcast where both empires collide. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the MousePIRE podcast.
What's going on? Uh-oh.
The Apprentice lives.
What is this?
You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one.
Drink out for me, Hardy Joe.
You never had a friend like me.
Some imagination, huh?
Made you look.
What?
Hi.
Hello?
Hey, water, not fire.
No, yeah, there's lots of water.
There's water all over the place in California, and
The first rain of the season.
and we don't know how to deal with it.
Is it? Is it the first rain or the second?
Oh, no, it's the first. We didn't even have... Let's put it this way. I was telling him earlier that during the whole time that Christmas decorations were up, it never rained.
Yeah, no, it's
Christmas
true.
decorations were up from mid-November
Early November.
all the way to... Well, I mean, mine were up mid... The outside decorations were up mid-November through this last weekend. And normally we have that Snoopy out there, and that Snoopy always gets rained on at least once. He didn't get rained on at all, so that means he's going to need washed off when he gets put back up next year because he's kind of dirty.
Oh, dirty Snoopy.
Yeah.
Dusty, dirty Snoopies.
So yeah, we have a lot of rain this past couple of days, flooding, and unfortunately, some people were killed in the flooding.
Whoa.
13 people.
Where?
Up
Here?
I don't know. I heard Santa Barbara area and some other. I don't know. They had some really bad flooding.
Well, anywhere that was near where the fires were,
Yeah, that
were
too.
obviously susceptible to huge landslides and stuff.
Right. So yeah, that's really, really bad. But yeah, we have had a lot of rain over here, and of course, people don't know how to drive in the rain, and
Well, it's the worst.
No,
it's
Californians
worst.
do not.
It's worse when it's the first rain. All the oils seep up and stuff. I was thinking about that on the way over here. For the first time ever in my life, I'm not driving a all-wheel drive vehicle, so I was thinking I got to be more careful because the first rain of the year.
yeah. So it's been pretty crazy. And today being Tuesday, Knott's Berry Farm and Magic Mountain both closed.
It's not Tuesday.
Yes, it
Today's
is.
Thursday or Friday, depending on when you upload the podcast.
So yeah. Anyway, those two parks closed because of the rain.
Wait, Knott's closed altogether?
And
Yes.
Magic Mountain.
Yes.
Well, Magic Mountain normally in the past would have been closed today anyways.
No. Magic Mountain, in the past, yes.
Yes,
but
why don't you listen to what I say before you open your mouth?
Hey, I'm
What are
just...
you, Michael?
That hurt.
Oh, poor Tim. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Coco.
Coco's not here anymore.
No, but what I said was in the past,
Correct.
Magic Mountain would normally have not been open today anyways, but now they are.
But Magic Mountain starting this year, January 1st, is open every day of the year.
Right.
I don't know how that's going to affect their refurb schedules and stuff, but
And same as it does at Disneyland, which we'll get to in a little bit.
it's the off season.
It sure is. So with off season, what comes? It's refurbishments and complaints.
And just as many people in the park.
Bye.
You have everyone complaining. Oh my God, half the park is closed.
No, it's not.
Do we
Stop
still
it.
have to pay full price if half the park's closed and blah, 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 blah. All right. So with the refurbishments, we talked about the pier closing so they can redo the pier for Pixar Pier. and all that stuff.
So here's my question with that. Does that mean that Midway is closing?
No,
Toy Story.
that's what's going to get you right now.
Good.
As of today, and I don't know how long it's going to be open, but Midway Mania is open. And
Had they always said that Midway Mania was going to be open during the refurbishment, or had it originally been planned to be
they
closed?
never said it was going to be closed.
They just didn't.
Okay.
They didn't say in
They
general
just
one
didn't
way or
say.
the other.
Right. So Midway Mania is open, and King's Triton Carousel is open also.
I saw a video of that running today.
Aren't they going to Isn't that getting reimagined though?
I would think so. I would think it would. So, but you know what? With people saying that half the park closed, people complaining, they're probably, you know what, we'll keep these two open. We'll do this side, the right side of the pier. We'll, of course, do California Screaming, redo that to the Incredibles
Something
ride.
like King Triton can be closed probably for a few days, and then just basically that's just taking down.
Bolt-ons.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like taking down a bunch of pictures from Little Mermaid and putting up a bunch of pictures from Finding Nemo. I don't know.
I was just thinking about that. Maybe it could be a Dora carousel ride.
I mean, if you mean molded fiberglass,
or Dory, not Dora.
Dory. I was like, Dora. What?
Dora the
That
Explorer.
was my old dog we had.
I mean, it's not pictures necessarily, but you mean it's like molded fiberglass pieces and
Right.
the horses, or what are they? Or they're like mer horse. What are they? They're
Oh, the
seahorses?
horses are actually something, huh?
seahorses and squids, and
Something like that. I really don't pay
I
attention.
haven't looked at it in a long time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so I mean, basically, like I just said, though, it's not like you just done some things in the past where we've said, well, they just have to change the disc,
Right.
but it is something that maybe they can get done, like you said, at the end. They could do it at the end.
Yeah, because like I said, everyone's going to start complaining everything's closed. So those two can be, well, not those two.
So
That
what did
one
they-
can be done at the end of the.
Right.
So they stuck up walls in front of Screamin',
Yes.
and then
Well, the wall
kid-
actually starts in front of the ice cream shop.
and then swings all the way
Swings
around.
that makes sense. Okay, so then they starts there, and then it swings around, and then it cuts in like right before the bathrooms.
I believe so.
Okay,
I haven't been there, so I can't really tell you.
Right,
I've seen
right.
some video of it, but they really didn't take too.
Is there a wall on? Do you know if there's a wall on the lakeside, or
probably not yet.
probably when you get down further towards past
I know there
or
is
right at Mania?
I know there is a wall right there where you know how you can go watch the people on Screamin' when they take off.
Right.
There's a wall right there too.
Okay.
So, but yeah, like I said, I've seen a quick little video, but they didn't really do a detailed video of all what's
Yeah,
going on.
I saw a bunch of pictures of people going into by Mania, and then I saw you could see that there's a wall there, like as if the wall just kind of leads you to Mania.
Okay, right, like a pathway.
Yeah, it could be like that one time when we went to Universal when everything was closed.
Oh yes,
And it was just a bunch of little pathways.
yes.
That's what I'm thinking they're going to do when they start doing the hotel. It's just going to be like a tunnel to the hotel.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
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 To the Disneyland hotel, to the monorail, and then
Right.
yeah.
I agree with that.
Well, I say this wasn't on our list, but I say that they're probably going to make it a no man's land for about 2 months or so, and then once the like steel girders and foundation things go in, once that's up,
There has to be at least something going through there, though, because
not
just
right
because
away.
no,
they
they're
can make
they're-
you go all the way around.
Oh no, they're not going to make you go all the way around. Because remember the fact that they put in that Starbucks, the Starbucks that's going to be taken out,
Right, just
was put in.
recently.
The Starbucks that was put in just recently was put there specifically because hotel guests were complaining that they had to walk all the way to the other Starbucks. So you really think they're going to make hotel guests walk all the way around when they have already put in a Starbucks because of hotel guests complaining that they had to walk in a straight line to the other Starbucks? They're not going to make them walk around.
That's a good question.
They're going to put
but
in. They're going to put in some sort of tunnel. It's going to be like some of those construction sites you see on the street when they're building like a big building, and
It's
you
just
got those
carved.
you got those scaffolding that builds like
Yeah.
a little tunnel.
Yeah,
That's what they'll do. If anything, they're just going to have a little tunnel going right through the middle. They're not gonna make guests walk around.
but are they going to wait to knock that Starbucks down at the last possible moment, or
Probably.
or are they just? My thought was that they're just going to stick up a wall, and then they're going to say this is no man's land, and then once it's safe enough to put that tunnel up, then they'll put the tunnel up, and if anything, they might put a temporary Starbucks or some sort of coffee location. Like maybe, when you go into the main tower.
They'll put a Starbucks inside the hotel temporary, if anything.
That's what I was going to say is, the main tower? There's a little gift shop directly to your right when you enter before you get to the lobby, like before you go forward to the lobby.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
There's a little gift shop there that basically just has a few trinkets and like waters and stuff and maybe some hats. I was thinking that they might turn that into a temporary Starbucks or some sort of coffee.
We'll
location.
see.
Anyway.
Getting back to Pixar.
I think we'll see in the next few weeks what they're going to do with the Pixar, though. It's like they're either... there's no reason for them to close Mania unless it's for...
facade purposes.
Exterior facade purposes.
Whoa.
No, because if they're reimagining the whole pier area, then a lot of the look of the roofs and all that is supposed to, it's all supposed to change.
Yeah.
So eventually they're going to have to either close all of it down or like you were saying, which is tunnels everywhere.
Right.
Like they do with the rivers of America.
There's a tunnel there?
No, but there's like, the fake come up and paint and you like fake paint on the wall. Like, here's what I'm talking about. They used to stick the wall up all the way around the rivers of America, and then they'd have the actor out there like he's...
I think I remember.
Like he's, what's his name?
That.
Tom
Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer.
Or Huck Finn.
One of those guys is out there like barefoot, not really barefoot, but he's out there like with a bucket.
He's got some Hobbit
and he's
feet
saying,
on.
"Come on, guys, help me get the painting done." But it's like, it's just water.
Really? I don't remember that.
It was, I always thought that was really clever.
That
Yeah.
is funny.
So yeah, we have that going on right now, and of course, over at the other side, Disneyland Park, we talked about the closures over there. Of course, Haunted Mansion is closed to go back to regular Haunted Mansion.
Oh no!
Jack and his crew is leaving for vacation.
Yeah,
so
they get 9 months of the year off.
Yeah, so
bastards.
They gotta. They're gonna be redoing that, of course, going back to regular Haunted Mansion. And we talked about the refurb going on Main Street. So we got some interesting news about that, because the only thing that we knew about it was the fact that they were going to do the repaving the street and everything like that. So all the Main Street vehicles were going to be on refurb, not going to be able to go during that time.
And we knew that they were going to be replacing the railroad tracks.
Yes, but we got some news from Disney that they are actually going to do more than that.
Yes, we're going to be telling people to get off the brick.
Off the brick.
We don't know how much. We actually got a little bit of insight from Tim that it could be. We were thinking automatically when they said that they're going to be adding some brick highlights or whatever, however the wording is, that it would be like over at DCA where there's the brick by where the tracks are on like Buena Vista Street. The bricks kind of extend out a few feet each side of the railroad tracks, or the tracks for the trolley. But Tim was saying in Paris,
I believe in Paris,
it's just right under the railroad track. It's basically
in between the two tracks. It's brick, if I remember
it's
correctly.
just brick in between the tracks. It's
I could look up some pictures.
It's not on each side of the tracks, though. It's not on the other side. It's there's different possibilities of what they could be doing with the track then, or with the brick then. But it's definite that no matter what, it's gonna make things pop a lot better.
Oh yes. I mean,
I think cool brick.
I think they look really, really nice.
Yeah, here's a
You have to believe it's something that they probably wanted to do for a long time.
I'll say this: in Paris, it appears as though the whole street is brick, but I don't know how you describe that. It's like the X only down the center of the railroad tracks is the brick red.
Right.
Is that what it looks like?
Yeah.
But you can't really tell that it's brick the rest of it because it's like flattened, almost like it's filled in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, so there's any number of things. They're definitely not going to do brick the whole street.
No.
But we're either going to get something where there's just brick in between the tracks probably, or we're going to get something similar to over at DCA where it's going to be just brick like where the tracks are, but also on each sides of it. So we'll see. It's definitely going to be something that's going to look really cool. Like I said, the article, the blog post did verify that they were going to be, for the first time in history, they're going to replace every single piece of railroad track.
That's crazy.
Ouch.
Not railroad track, track on Main Street. And the pieces of track that are original, they're actually going to put them away they're going to archive them, probably in Ontario.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one of the big major projects that's going to be going on over at Disneyland Park.
I'm going to send you a picture of a good photo of Paris, what this street looks like there. And if you want to post it so people can check it out on the page, guys, check out the MousePIRE Facebook page. If you want to see what Paris looks like, comment or send us a message if you think that's what they're going to do to Disneyland, or if you'd like it if that's the way Disneyland looked.
Now,
Just send us a message, please, people.
because I'm thinking that when the brick comes up, well, what are they going to do? How's the hub going to work?
They're taking the hub out completely.
Oh yeah, see, you could tell here in this picture that
bricks are just different colors.
Yeah, it's brick in the center in between the tracks, but the brick on the rest of the street of Main Street is actual brick also.
It's just a darker color.
But it's the brick in the middle in between the railroad tracks is a darker color. See, something like that on our Main Street would look freaking amazing.
Well, because it does the same thing. It goes
It looks
center
so
and it
pretty.
splits, right? The track splits at one point, so it
Their
it
track splits in the middle of Main Street, though. I don't know why it would do that.
Ours splits there too.
Their Main Street is what?
Ours splits in the center too.
No, not on Main Street though.
Yeah, in the middle of the street, so they can pass each other.
Oh, in Main Street, I thought they
Right in the
passed each
center.
other in the.
Right in the center of Main Street.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
It
Anyways,
does the same thing. It's like
what I was going to ask is that they've said Main Street, but my question is that how's the hub? How's the hub involved in this? Because they only say Main Street, but
that
obviously
has to be included, right?
Obviously the tracks go into the hub if they're going to replace the tracks on Main Street, unless it's going to be a 2-part thing where they're going to. But you would think that the hub would have to be involved at some point.
I think so.
Obviously, it goes without saying that obviously Town Square is also included with the hub.
So what do? They do one side, and including the hub, and then they do the other side,
Which reminds me, something that you pointed out, and I don't know if you forgot about, was the flag.
Let's get into before.
Oh, well,
you were going to say that right now? Okay, go ahead.
So with all that going on Main Street and the hub and in Town Square, the flag retreat ceremony has been postponed until, actually they gave a date of,
it's May, yeah?
They said April.
April, okay.
I think April 16th or something.
So probably about the same time that the parade.
Yeah.
And so basically what they've done was they're going to leave the flag up, and they have lit up the flag. So at night, the flag will be there on...
Flag be lit.
So they basically just hoisted the flag all the way up, and they put a light on it, and it just stays 24 hours.
Yeah, because when I was there on Saturday, the lights were already facing the flagpole and already lit up.
So it's basically,
and now
like
it's all wet and it's going to mold.
Right. It's basically like the one in Bellflower off the 91.
Long Beach Freeway, Firestone exit, Southgate.
I'm not sure, but the Bellflower 91. My friend lives a couple blocks from there.
You got that one?
I got it.
Right off is the auto. Yeah. My friend steps out when you see at night from my friend's house. He says every once in a while you come out. Well, at night you come out and there's just lights on this flagpole, and from where his front porch is, you can just see it like 2 blocks away.
Well, because the law says that not that anybody really, since people seem to be confused on what the laws with the flag is anymore. But there is a law that says that a flag cannot be up permanently without a light being put on it. So at least Disneyland is confirming to the flag law.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
where are the lights coming off of? One of the
parade towers.
The parade towers.
Yeah, the parade lights. So since there's no parade going on,
right?
Don't need those lights, right?
They just turned the light around.
They just turned it around. That's all they did. So yeah, they got the lights. The flagpole was lit up on Saturday when I was there before the end. The very last flag retreat was Sunday, and now the flag is just up.
Now we'll see if now that it's rained, whether they make an exception and go over there and switch flags.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
It depends on how many flags they have.
That's true. I think they only have the one.
What if it's just the one?
Then, well, I guess they throw it in the dryer for a minute and.
Yeah.
What do they do if from the flagpole, like Ernie or one of these guys loses it?
They get fired.
Probably.
All right, so with that, we also mentioned last week that Dumbo was going to be part of the refurbishment.
Yes.
Also,
we did not know why.
No, we didn't know why, but now we do know why.
It makes complete sense.
Yes.
Finally.
So Dumbo is going to be in the shade. Well, as far as the line.
Not just shade. They're redoing the entire queue to make room for more people, I guess.
Well,
number one, they're moving it so that way it's not sticking out
Right.
They're probably going to swing it. Basically, they're probably going to rotate it where it kind of sticks out into the middle of the walkway,
Right.
where people just run over and put all their strollers, stack up their strollers all right next to that one bend. Well, they're probably going to rotate it towards the back where they're probably going to take out. You think they might be taking out the calliope?
I don't know what that is.
I thought about this some. I think
About
that
them taking the calliope out?
no, just how it's going to work. I think that as you walk up to Dumbo, there's going to be some sort of archway, and it's going to say standard wine, and then like handicap or something or whatever this direction. And the handicap or whatever the secondary alternate bypass line is going to basically go to the side where the regular queue went, and it's going to go right in. And the other one is going to go to the left all the way around the back with canopy over it, and it's going to wrap around the back of the station where the operator sits in the little booth.
Yeah, in front of the calliope.
Back and maybe have a little bit of a zigzag back there. But but that's going to show more people that stuff in the back. I don't think they're going to take out the calliope. I think it's going to.
Oh, okay.
I think it's going to be.
There's not that much room back there, but I mean, if they're going to rotate the line, I was thinking about the handicap. They might go just with some. They might just have where the handicap goes in through the exit, like a lot of rides do.
Right.
But definitely, yeah, probably about right next to where the where the plaid stands.
I don't think that
where the plaid stand.
I think
I'm thinking that's where the new entrance to Dumbo might be. Where I'd be right adjacent to that.
They don't need a large handicap area.
Dumbo and the wall there.
They just don't need a large handicap area. They basically need a holding area that's big enough for maybe 8 or 10 people.
Because it was always dumb that the line was started so far in the front anyways, instead of it being in the back where it belongs.
Right. I agree. We rode Saturday night. We were there. We rode Dumbo one last time with Elizabeth Loves Dumbo. And we
obviously
sure
the most important part is that the Dumbo line will now get, as he alluded to, it's going to get a canopy now where it's always been in the sun. Right. Or in the rain, however you want to look at it.
Also, Timothy Mouse should be back because they've already taken the Timothy Mouse off the top. It wasn't even there this week. Apparently, it hasn't been there for a month or two, but nobody noticed.
It was Christmas vacation time, so he probably went on vacation.
Right,
see his family.
Flew south to Florida.
Something
that's
like
the birds, not the mouse.
Or is that the bees?
The birds and the bees. But yeah, they're going to fix it all up in general. They had tried something different recently with that ride where instead of giving out the feathers, the magic feathers, as they had 16 magic feathers, one for each Dumbo. And you needed the feather to get on Dumbo. If you had one person in your party, you got one feather. If you had two people in your party, you got one feather. So that they knew how many. That way they didn't put too many people and stuff. And if you said you were putting 2 in one Dumbo, but then you decided to split up, then somebody else would be like asked out, basically. They wouldn't, and they'd have to wait. So they used to give out these wooden feathers back in the day. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, they ceased with the wooden feathers and they started giving out these laminated pictures of a feather. And then just recently, they put a number on each Dumbo, like to the right to the back of where you enter. And they've numbered them. The numbers were sort of extra because each boom has a number on it as well. So the numbers would go on the outside, and then they put numbers on the ground when you make the final turn in the queue to go in that final line where you're going in. They had numbers on the ground, 16, 15, starting with 16 on the end, 15, 14, 13, all the way down to number 1 being the last one. And they would ask, how many people in your party? You go to number 16. How many people in your party? You're on number 15. And they do that. According to the cast member we talked to, it just never worked. People have a mind of their own. They're going to go to whichever number they want. If they decide that they want the purple Dumbo, like Elizabeth would.
Oh, speaking of not working, I wanted to... you go ahead and finish. There was something I wanted to...
Well, but if people decided they wanted to sit in the purple Dumbo or the blue Dumbo, and theirs was yellow... Then they would switch, and then once you're in, nobody's going to ask you to get out, that kind of thing. Or if you split your party, it's just basically it never worked. So in this refurbishment, they should be coming up with either a new system or going back to the feathers or whatever it is.
It sounds complicated. I don't want to write it now.
It is complicated.
They don't do that with Astro Orbiter. You just go on, right?
Well, I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. I should go write Astro Orbiters to figure it out. But I mean, it all comes down to how many spots there are, right? Like, same
I understand
thing.
what you're saying. Just too complicated, and I wouldn't want to deal with that crap.
So you want to talk about too complicated real quick? Have you guys been noticing that the shit they're trying to do in the parking lot?
What?
At the parking where they load the bus from 2 lines?
Oh, you're talking about Toy Story.
Oh,
Yeah, Toy Story.
I haven't been there. I haven't been there that early. I've seen the 1, 2, and 3 or whatever they have.
Right. Actually, it wasn't even that early. It was like last time when we were there on Wednesday, and we were there kind of late, and they were doing it. But because the idea is that they load a certain amount of people to the one, and they go in through the front door, but they only fill up to the back door, and then other people go in the back door, and they fill up behind the back door. And in theory, it's supposed to be faster. And I noticed like you said, I noticed the numbers and stuff, but I didn't notice what it was for. I'd asked them what it was for, and they said, but at the time they hadn't really used it. Well, when I went last week, I asked him, I'm like, so how's that working out for you guys? It sucks. It doesn't work at all. In fact, it makes things go even slower. So there you go.
Whose idea was that?
I don't know.
I'll look into that.
When I first saw it, I was like, hey, that's kind of a good idea. It's almost like when I came up with the idea of having the single rider line at ET, but which actually ended up working out, and I still have the sign. But
you came up with the single rider for ET at Universal?
Yeah.
Visionary.
Because they weren't using a single rider at the time.
Were you like a manager or a lead?
I was a lead.
I think they should put your face like on a plaque on the wall.
No, that's fine. I got to keep the sign. I stole the sign that they made.
You should have just kept it at I got to keep the sign.
I got to keep the sign. I got to keep the sign.
There you go.
But I was looking because now they've added where they have those. They have the 1, 2, and 3 like strapped to the poles now. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
But then I was like,
"Where's this?"
At Toy Story.
Oh,
where you load the bus.
Toy Story. I don't do the Toy Story
because you're stupid.
Thank you.
Why do you park?
We appreciate it.
Why do you park at Mickey and Friends? Only losers park there.
No.
I
mean, I have a handicap placard.
Okay, I have handicap parking over there too.
Yeah, it's even better at Toy Story.
Yeah, it's easier.
You got lot less distance to walk.
I don't like the buses. Number one. And the other thing I don't like about the buses is the fact
he doesn't get to hear as much. She's most on the buses as on the trams. That's what it is.
What do you mean?
You don't get as much gossip on the buses as on the trams. Is that what it is?
No,
you don't get to hear as much shit about Kyle when you're on the buses.
Well, the trams are where we hear the Kyle gossip directly from. Even but the fact that the drivers are not Disney employees. I've had several of those drivers be like incredibly rude, and there's nothing that Disney can do about it because they're not employees of Disney.
I've never had a problem.
So what? Security is incredibly rude in there, and they are employees of Disney, and there's nothing that we can do about it.
I had one woman. I simply asked her like a standard question. Oh, is this the route you normally take, or do you know where? I asked her something question. She screamed at me to step. Get back behind the line. And I was like, whoa, I'm not even ahead of the line. I just asking a question.
She already knew you were annoying.
Well, that's not her assumption to make. You can make that assumption. We know each other, but no. Yeah, but they can't. Disney can't do anything about their like city employees.
They don't do anything about security either, and they are employees. Like I said,
if you
I don't see what the difference is.
Hard enough,
I've never had one issue with a Toy Story with a bus driver compared to all the times I've had issues with security. So. To me, it's fine.
We can talk about security next. Let's finish this.
No, we're not talking about security.
No.
But Anthony has complaints.
No,
I'm fine. I said it's over. The holidays are over, so it doesn't matter anymore. But, yeah, so anyway, so I had seen all that stuff going on, and I'm like, hey, this seems like a good idea. But then I obviously, like I said, I asked, and they said it wasn't working at all. So whoever's idea it wasn't a great idea.
Right. All right.
And it's not working at all.
So don't forget, you guys, there's a lot of stuff going on in the parks with the refurbs and remodeling and all that kind of stuff going on. So let's remember that and don't complain that half the park is closed.
Because it's not.
Yeah, because there's too many people out there doing that and say, oh, it's almost not worth to go. But then don't go.
Remember
don't have a pass.
Remember last year it was half the park, and then it was just the Rivers of America area.
I know, that's what I was telling him I think last week or something. I was talking about when he it was the other day when you posted me, told me about people complaining about half the park being closed.
Right.
I mean, really? Because last year they were complaining about half the park being closed when it was Rivers of America and the trail.
Yeah.
And they were saying that half the park was closed. No, it's not half the park.
Half the park does not equal the waterways, people.
If anything, all I got to say is I'll say the opposite of what I was saying last year about New Year's. Go to Disneyland. If you don't like the fact that a third of DCA is closed, then go to Disneyland. Nothing really, hardly ever is closed at Disneyland. What did I say? It's just Splash Mountain and Dumbo and
Main Street.
And Main Street.
No vehicles, but
No vehicles. Well, nobody goes on the hard. Out of the percentage of people that go on vehicles is super small.
right.
The only other thing that affects, obviously, is the percentage of people that watch parades or watch, stuff. Because, I mean, they're still going to have fireworks on the weekends, I assume. You just won't be able to stand on Main Street.
Yeah, depending on what part is blocked. So
Right.
hopefully I can get there to the parks to see what's going on with all that and take some pictures and let everyone know. But yeah, other than that, you know what? There's no reason why you can't go over there and still enjoy yourself because there's still a lot that you guys can do there.
Plus, once everything's open again, I mean, like once Haunted Mansion's open again, short lines again, and you can go on. Rain's coming, you can enjoy rain, no lines.
Rainy days at Disneyland.
Like today it was raining.
Hey, maybe it'll flood again on Main Street. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I didn't get to be there for that.
I didn't get to be. Yeah, I used to. Many years ago, we would go like whenever it was a rainy day. I'd convince this one friend of mine to go. Ooh, burger time. I would convince this one friend of mine. Remember the 49-cent hamburgers? Man,
yes.
Whatever happened to that? You can take that
Inflation.
part out. I would go with this one friend of mine because it was rainy days and we knew that half the stuff would be closed, but we would go just to mess around. And I remember getting those. Anybody remember those Buzz Lightyear voice modulator things? It would like change your voice. It was looked like a little bullhorn, but it was for Buzz Lightyear, and it would change your voice. And we would go around and harass cast members with them, for fun. Say things like, "Excuse me, my parents left me here when I was 12. Do you think they still love me?"
No,
of course not.
All right. Well, with half the park being closed, Disneyland is offering their Southern California resident offer once again. So you can get a 2-day and 3-day ticket for a discounted price. Let's start with a 2-day ticket with a choice of one park per day, and that's $159.
Basically the price of a 1-day park hopper, but you get 2 days.
Exactly. 2-day park hopper ticket is $204. 3-day ticket with choice of one park per day is $199. Or you can get a 3-day park hopper ticket for $244.
Well, I know that the 3-day ticket is usually $299 for a hopper. So to get it for $259 or $249 or whatever is a pretty good deal too. What did they use? They used to call these the twofer, remember?
Yeah, it used to be two first, but now they changed it up.
You could get 2 days at Disneyland only because California Adventure didn't exist until 2001. But yeah, you could get a 2-day ticket. It was like $26 for $26, right? In 1998.
Okay. I don't remember on that.
Well, you were there.
I had a pass.
Yeah, we had passes in 1998.
I had passes too, but
we
I
were
used to
paid $99 for the highest annual pass there was.
So if you guys are interested in this deal, you can get these tickets, of course, at Disneyland.com/SoCal. And all the information's there. Of course, there are blockout dates, which are from March 23rd through April 8th. Of course, spring break. So you can't use these tickets there. And of course, like always, you can go one day. You don't have to use them consecutive days in a row. You can go one day and then go the next week if you want. But there is I believe you have to use them within a certain time or whatever. And of course, the expiration date on May 24th, 2018. It says here that that you are able to purchase up to 5 tickets per person per day, and of course you're gonna have to have a valid ID. And I don't know how it works online when you buy them online. maybe you have to send them your ID. I don't know. But if you want information on that, just hit up Disneyland.com/SoCal. You get all the information there.
Well, you'll probably just put your address. And
Yeah, I
verify
know.
your address.
I'm just trying to make it funny.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, one more time, we have this Southern California resident offer. You know what? If you guys have friends who want to go and they live here in California and they are available, for this deal, I would say hit it up and take advantage of it. Even though it does go up every year, what can you do? But if you can get some discount tickets, I would go for that. All right, so moving on, we got some news that the annual pass holder popcorn buckets are back again. These are the buckets that are $15 and come with $1 refills. It started on Monday, and it goes until March 1st.
Bullshit.
It's 2 months.
Bullshit.
Why?
It's not long enough.
Well, I agree. I'm just for the listeners.
All the other ones. Well, okay, I don't remember what one of them was, but at least one of them
Like 3 months.
No, it was like 3 months. Then one was 2.5 months. So I think they just keep getting smaller and shorter, and they keep charging the same freaking price for the popcorn bucket.
Anything less than 2 months is unacceptable.
Oh, I know what it was. It was the one at DCA. It was the
the Guardians.
The Guardians one was only 2 months, I think, or it was
came out
also
later.
2 months because it came out later,
Right.
And that one was bullcrap. That's why I didn't get that one. But then before that, they had done the 2 electrical parade ones, and I think one was 3 months, and the other one was 2.5 months, I think.
Maybe.
So now for them to charge the same price for only 2 months, I'm not getting it, especially since it's already. By the time anybody gets there, by the time they announce it, have they even officially announced it?
No, they have not.
Or is it like that last time where they
didn't announce it? That's what I was going to get to right now. That they have.
Bullcrap.
They haven't officially announced it yet. Disneyland annual pass holder page or anything from Disney has not come out about this bucket yet, but people are posting about it,
but they responded to you about it.
Yeah,
so they acknowledge it.
So but what happened was someone tweeted them about the bucket, and they replied, this is what you get, blah blah blah. I texted them or I tweeted at them, how long does this go till? And they said it goes till March 1st. So basically, they also said that the offer runs through.
Then you asked because people were erroneously
putting wrong dates,
saying that it was March 31st.
Yes. So the offer runs through February 4th. You have until February 4th
to buy the bucket
or until supplies last.
Right. Depending on how popular it is.
After the 4th, you can refill. Or of course, right now, starting now, until until March 1st, you can refill them for $1. But they're only on sale till the 4th of February.
They probably make 50,000 of them, and that's just it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Well, they're not going to make that much if they're only going to do it for 2 months. So
right.
It's going to be less than the electrical parade bucket.
You have to presume that this is going to be this is their whole, yet another one of their stupid, this is what we're doing for APs to make up for the fact that we're never going to have an AP party again.
I mean, yeah, to some degree they're doing it for APs.
No, that's all there is. That's it. That's all it is
they're also trying to get double the price of a bucket that theirs are just the rounds. They're nothing special about them. They're a round bucket with something around, printing on the outside, but they're charging the same price that they would charge for a premium like character bucket.
Yeah, but in the long run, if you get a bunch of refills, you can end up making more money.
How many times have you refilled one of these things?
A lot.
We refilled every single time we went when we had the electrical parade ones.
How many times was that?
In 3 months, it was a lot.
All right. I'll give you that, but how many people do you think? I mean, the most we've refilled one is
in
like
3 months,
3
it was
times.
probably at least 12 times.
I mean, you have to refill it 8 times to break even on what it would cost to buy a regular round bucket. 8 times. If you want to just
I know what you're saying. We're not going to go and buy something and not get our money's worth.
You may not, but a lot of people, they don't make it to the park quite as much as they want to, or they forget. For us, we would just forget the bucket. And then we would we're just not going to get popcorn because we're not going to pay full price for it. And the popcorn literally costs them nothing. They throw away trash bags full of popcorn every day.
Well, the thing is, like I said, I'm not going to get the bucket because, number one, you're not going to get it long enough to be able to get your money's worth, like you said.
Right.
Plus the fact that, as I said, they haven't even officially announced it yet. It only goes until March 1st. They haven't officially announced it yet. It's already...
No, it's announced.
It's already January 9th. The point is that you're not even really getting a full 2 months because it didn't start on the 1st. It didn't start until probably
The 8th.
the 8th. Yeah, they
I mean,
start.
if you went 4 times
So
in
that's
2
not
months
even.
and got 2
That's not
popcorns
even.
each time.
It's not even a full 2 months that they're having it out. Much less the fact they haven't officially announced it on the Disney Park blog. So unless you're at the park, you don't know it's there.
Right.
So the point is that
Agreed.
it started on 8th, so you're not even getting a full 2 months out of it. Plus the fact that February only has 28 days, unless it's leap year.
No.
So the February is already a short month, so you're not even really getting 2 full months out of it.
Whoa, hold the phone. It's leap year?
I said no.
No, he said no.
Dang.
So
Because then I could be mad at Disney for not doing leap day.
So the point is that you're not even getting you're not even getting a true 2 months out of it. So it's just, to me, I'm like I'm sure they're going to make a lot of money on them because people don't do the math right.
That's my whole point. Is you have to do it 8 times just to break even. I mean, it's $8 for a round, and these are 15. Or sorry, you have to get 7 refills to break even.
And nobody's going to be able to do that unless you're going.
You'd have to go 4
Unless
times
you're
and get 2 per time to get your money's worth.
Right. And it's not even. It's probably the least impressive of all the buckets so far.
I think it's interesting looking.
It's okay.
So the popcorn buckets are available at both parks, and just go to the popcorn stands because people are like, where's this at? Where's that at? Blah, blah, blah. They even tweeted at Disney asking, is it only on Main Street? And whatever.
No, Main Street's closed.
Well, I'm hoping they come out with a regular, like a new character bucket as well for the off season. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
I mean, if
the Pluto's gone, the pumpkin's gone, the Oogies are gone. Now you got the AT-AT is the only thing left, and they only sell it in one place. So why not have a general character bucket of some kind for the rest of the park, DCA included? Maybe. You know what? They'll probably have a Pixar something this summer.
Well, they're saving for all the Pixar crap that's going to get dropped on you this summer.
Yeah,
because both parks are going to have. They're probably going to have something for when Pixar Play Parade comes over to Disneyland. They're probably going to have something there.
Maybe
over at DCA, they're going to have. They're going to inundate you with a bunch of Pixar Pier crap.
Maybe they could have not at the Pixar Pier, but at the Disneyland side, maybe they could have or either both, maybe like a bullseye. That'd be kind of cool. They could hollow out bullseye enough to fit popcorn inside, right?
Who?
Bullseye.
Who's that?
The horse from Toy Story.
Oh, okay.
All right, so if you guys are into all the popcorn buckets and have to have it, hurry up and get to the parks, grab the bucket, because like we just said, they're probably not going to make that many since it's only for these few days.
And if you guys are into popcorn buckets also, you should join my friend Jason, the popcorn bucket guy. You should join his Facebook group. It's called Disney Popcorn Buckets. There's a page too, so be careful when you're searching for it. But a lot of people sell and trade popcorn buckets and stuff in there. That's where a lot of the information gets posted first about these things.
Cheap plug.
All right, so when we announced a while back that we're going to discontinue for the time being the marathons at Disneyland.
I don't know if we got to talk about that because
we talked about it.
I think we mentioned it because we were off for a while, and then
right. But I think it was just before that.
Okay.
That the announcement that came through that the marathons were going to be discontinued because of the construction between Star Wars and the new hotels and stuff that are going to be going on. That the marathons at Disneyland will be discontinued. Well, we got the word this last week that they are going to be doing. To make up for it, they are going to be doing at least for now, for the Star Wars. We'll see if they do virtual marathons for other, like the Marvel or any of that stuff, or the Tinkerbell. But for now, they are definitely going to be doing the first ever Star Wars virtual half marathon. Now, if nobody has ever done a virtual marathon, that's basically
where you virtually sit on your ass.
Yes, you virtually.
Do you get glasses and stuff like that, and headset?
No, not that kind of virtual.
Oh, darn!
It's virtual, as in basically they're taking your word for it that you did the marathon.
That sounds risky.
The problem with it is now, first of all, these virtual marathons are not a new thing because I have seen them before. I was telling Tim that there was a Star Trek virtual marathon that had some really cool medals that I would have liked to have done just because the medals looked cool.
You virtually could have done it.
I virtually could have done it, basically. Now, my problem is that where does this come in? Now, we talked about that lady who got caught stealing people's badges and
Oh, yeah, right?
stuff like that. I mean, in the end, what is really the point of busting somebody like her when then you're going to have a virtual marathon where literally nobody can do the marathon, but you could still get the medal? They're just taking your word for it. Because all you do is you pay $59 and then you literally download a printable bib.
Okay.
And then you
pin it to yourself.
You pin it to yourself, and then you either
sit on the couch.
And then you either actually, in theory, you either actually go out and actually run 13.1 miles.
It says you can do it on a treadmill too, right? Yeah.
Or walk or whatever at your own pace, 13.1 miles, or you can get on a treadmill and do 13.1 miles on a treadmill at your own pace. There's no people behind you telling you need to speed up or whatever, like you would at a regular marathon.
If you run, don't walk, you can get to the Toyota-thon.
Yes. And so in theory, you do that, and then you get your time, and then you go to a specific place on the website, and you put in your time with your name and everything, and then it will give you a completion certificate, and then at that time, I assume that they will mail you your medal.
Sounds cheatable.
So obviously, yes, it is very, very cheatable, because if all they are asking for is you to put in a time, anybody can make up any old time.
Well, you'd have to look up like what a crappy marathon time
you would have
is,
to look up
that.
What is a crappy time for a half marathon, or what is a crappy time
6 days
for 13 point whatever miles. I mean, I guess I could take the time that I used to do the 1 mile back in junior high on the Frisbee track.
I used to quit after 2 laps.
They wouldn't let us quit. We had to walk it if we didn't want to.
If you didn't want to be late to your next class, you had to keep going.
Our PE teachers at Frisbee were jerks. But
you had Frisbee class?
What? No, that was the name of the school.
It was Frisbee?
Yes, it was
like
Frisbee Junior High.
Like the disc you throw.
No, but it was a person named Frisbee.
Did he invent the disc?
I don't know.
How do you went to the school and you don't know these things?
Tell you what kind of school it was.
Anthony's getting
whatever. You don't know who Kolb is.
A little mad.
I don't know. I know his name is Ben. Ben F. Kolb.
Ben F. Kolb.
Ben Frisbee.
Because he went to Kolb Junior High.
See, now that sounds normal, but Frisbee sounds like, like that's like a joke.
Whatever. Where'd you go?
I went to Maricosta High School in Manhattan Beach.
See, nobody can even spell that.
Miracosta.
But what does it mean?
I don't know. They're the Trojans.
See, I don't know. They were the Falcons. So anyways, point is...
why weren't they the discs?
I don't know, because it was Frisbee Falcons, FF. It rolled off the tongue. I don't know.
We were the Kolb Cougars.
Yeah, because, KC instead of KK. K. So anyway, so yes, you put in your number. So yeah, if anybody can come up with a fake number of how long it would do, anybody can put in the number, and yes, they can get their medal. But otherwise, if you want to legitimately do it, then you legitimately either go out and run or do it on a treadmill, and then get your time, and then you put your time in, and then you'll get your certificate, and then you'll get your medal in the mail. Now, the good news, everyone, is that all of those people who were already signed up for the Dark Side Challenge in Florida and were lamenting over the fact that there wouldn't be any more Kessel Run Challenge, which, of course, is the medal that you get for doing... that you were getting for doing the marathon in Florida and in at Disneyland, which
the
is
bi-coastal challenge.
It's the same as the coast to coast medal you get for
they used to call it the Dopey Challenge.
Well, that's different.
But it's the same concept.
It's the same concept.
Yeah.
The Dopey, I think, is if you do one of the other ones.
Well, it's one of the ones here in California,
right.
And then one of the ones in Florida. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, because you could possibly do one in Florida, then come here and do one,
correct,
and end up with actually like the Kessel Run and the Dopey or something like that.
Oh, that's
and the
interesting.
Coast to Coast or something. I've seen people come out of the half marathon with 5 medals around their neck.
Sounds
or something
they
like that.
They worked it.
Well, they certainly didn't virtual anything. So, yes, anyways, like I was saying, if you are doing the Dark Side Challenge in Florida and you still want to get your Kessel Run medal, you still can. Because for $10 more, for $69, you can do your virtual half marathon that counts for your California, and then still go to Florida and do your Dark Side half marathon, and you will still get your Kessel Run medal for only basically $10 more. The time for that is registration for the Star Wars Virtual Half Marathon is from January 3rd, so it has already started until February 28th. Then your completion time frame is January 3rd to March 31st. So basically, from any time from when you sign up till March 31st, you have to do your 13.1 miles and then enter it. Because the reason you have to do that by then is because the Dark Side in Florida is in April. So you have to complete your virtual half marathon by the end of March, so that way they could register it as being completed before you even go. Because then when you go to the Dark Side, they will have your Kessel Run Challenge medal waiting for you there once you've completed your Dark Side half marathon. They will know that you are due to a Kessel Run medal because you did the virtual. So they will already have it for you.
10-4.
So all those people that were worried that they would not get their Kessel Run medals, here is your way to do it. And of course, like I said, a participant in the virtual half marathon gets their commemorative downloadable race bib, a downloadable finisher certificate, and then you will actually, I assume, be mailed your actual medal.
Considering you're only virtually going to be doing this, what's the medal look like? And is it good enough to virtually pay for?
Well, like I said, basically, I mean, they're not even showing the medal, so you have to assume that it's the same medal that they've always used, that they've been using for the last 2-3 years, whatever.
Not the Kessel Run one, but the regular one.
No, the regular one is what I'd say. It's always been the Medal of Yavin.
Oh, it's always the same? I thought it changed every time.
It might have a different strap. I don't know.
People do these every year, so you think that they change.
Well, it has a new date on it, or it has the year and everything on it, but I would assume that this will say 2018 on it.
Gotcha.
So
there's a whole secondary market for like medal hanger things, like things you hang your medals on.
I'm sure, yeah.
Wood,
People
like
that have a lot.
things with little posts, and it says like marathon, whatever.
So speaking of Star Wars, but not the Kessel Run, because we'll get to that in a few minutes.
Uh-oh.
Tim has some news about the Kessel Run.
Just a little.
But
morsel.
The Star Wars VFX, or whatever the hell it's called.
The Void. Secrets
of the Empire
is open.
It opened on Friday the 5th at some stupid hour in the morning. They had the grand opening like at 8 in the morning or something.
The good news.
Yeah.
Because Jeff asked them when it was, and he said they were like, grand opening at 8 a.m. I'm like, why? Why?
Someone's that excited to do it.
Who's up at 8? Who's up at 8 in the morning?
Jeff
a lot of
was
people,
probably there because
surprisingly.
he's the one who asked the question. But I mean, yeah, I don't understand why they had to have it that early in the morning. But I mean, so anyways, yeah, that thing's open now. I don't know if do we know anybody that's gone to it yet?
Not yet, but Dan has reservations.
Right, I saw something about Dan having reservations.
And I've made plans, I believe, either the 19th or the 20th to go with a friend of mine, too.
I want to have somebody else go ahead so that way they could see how big the vests go up to.
Oh,
that's a good
true.
idea. That's a good
the
idea.
vest thing might be a good idea, but also...
Because I'm worried about the vest not being big enough.
I'm sure they give you a refund. Maybe they have like an extender. I don't know.
What is this, was this an airplane?
I don't know. Well, Elizabeth and I rode...
Are they going to charge me double?
I told you Elizabeth and I rode Dumbo the other night, and we've always fit, but like, you know, it was like a stretch to get the thing, and she looked at me right before the thing clicked and said, "Are we going to need the extender?" And I thought, I don't know, and then it clicked shut.
That's funny.
But no, I mean the vest, I guess.
Because I wasn't thinking about it until I saw some pictures of people that had done it.
I haven't seen that yet.
And I saw what the headset and the vest and everything looks like, and it's kind of like a laser tag or something like that. So that's my main concern is what sizes the vests go up to. So if anybody that has gone or is planning to go can get back to us with that information once they know. Email us, mousepire@gmail.com.
Or just send a message through the Facebook page.
Right. Subject line,
Vests.
too fat for the vest.
A friend of mine and I are supposed to go on the 19th. What got me excited, I think more than anything else, was I saw somebody post and talk about it, and she said for the 30 minutes that she was in there, for the first 5, she couldn't stop staring at her hands. Like, I guess they're...
Oh, is she high?
No, it's not VR, it's AR.
Right.
So you're seeing what's going on. You can actually see your actual friends.
Right.
But the system paints them to look a different way.
Right.
Including your own hands. So you've got these gloves that go on.
Oh, right.
So when you look down at your own hands, it makes it look like they're wearing something, some sort of
okay.
techie, I don't know. But she said I
Stormtrooper?
just couldn't, right, maybe you're a stormtrooper. So she said she just couldn't stop looking at her own hands through the whole thing. She said it was just so cool to stare down and just
Damn, imagine going on that shit while you're on some acid.
Uh-oh. I didn't consider that.
All you would do is just stare at your hands.
So I came across an article recently. This is how this relates to the Kessel Run. It was...
Basically, to set up for Tim's thing here, they had come out with about a month or two ago, a month and a half ago, there was some artwork that had came out for
From
Solo. No, not for Lego. It was just some artwork that it came out. You have to set up before what happened with the Lego was that the artwork that is always there's how every year they have new artwork that's up in the corner of all the Star Wars packaging. Like this year for The Last Jedi, it was the white packaging with the characters with Rey and everybody, and there's a lot of red and white and stuff.
Before that, it was...
And then before that, it was the Rogue One packaging with
Kylo and
No,
Finn?
the Rogue One packaging, which had Rogue One characters, had the Death Trooper and stuff, which was the packaging from last year, which was all the Rogue One packaging. And then before that, it was the black and red with the big Kylo Ren face. And then before that, it was like something with Vader.
This
but
is
you
in
get the point.
top
Basically,
corner of all the Lego
yes.
packages.
Well, no, not Lego. No, this isn't just Lego. This is everything.
Oh.
All Star Wars merchandise uses the same basic little corner logo packaging logo.
Oh, true.
Whether
right.
it's whether it's a toy, whether it's Lego, whether it's some cutlery, whether it's a lightsaber, no matter what it is, it's always going to have the same little artwork up in the corner.
Bath salts.
Right. But a month or so ago, some artwork had been leaked that was supposedly artwork for Solo, which then Lucasfilm immediately turned around and said, no, that's fan art and it's fake. But then some people were saying that, no, that's real and blah, 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 and there's been some fighting going on about that over the last month. Well, just last week, some leaked photos of some Lego merchandise from Solo came out, and, well, look at that. It has that leaked artwork that was supposed to be fake up in the right-hand corner, just right where it belongs. And it was a bunch of merchandise from bunch of merchandise of Solo and like the Millennium Falcon and a bunch of other speeders and stuff that are supposedly Lego merchandise from Solo, and they happen to have that same artwork, which was called fake. So
it could be fake.
But in the midst of all that, the Millennium Falcon, it's the title of the Millennium Falcon Lego set that is what is being considered a possible spoiler for the movie.
The Kessel Run Millennium Falcon.
Right.
Now, I will say that if you look at the image, the Falcon doesn't quite look the same.
Well, there's a lot of reasons for that.
Please enlighten us.
Well, the YT 1300 freighter, which is what the Millennium Falcon is a customizable freighter for any purposes, that going all the way back to the Star Wars role-playing game. In the source books, they had a complete breakdown of a YT 1300 freighter that it could have all kinds of add-ons like the little cockpit coming off the side. That's actually an add-on that the stock 1300 freighter doesn't come with that, and that there's different ways that the different configurations that it could have, like with the front, it could have the forks or it could be solid.
So it's kind of like getting a car. Either you want leather seats
Exactly.
or cloth. Okay.
Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly. And you know how Han Solo says multiple times, well, I've made a few special modifications?
Yeah.
We just assume that
so
that
you have
meant
to
the
assume
engine,
that
but-
the Millennium Falcon has always been referred to as a modified YT 1300 freighter. So you have to assume that there are freighters that, you know, there are multiple ships that look like the Millennium Falcon out there, just not going to look exactly the same. Now, when this artwork
looks a
came
little
out,
different in the front.
yeah, it doesn't have the fork in the front. It's solid all the way to the front. Now, the reason for that is because that's one of the modifications or the options on the YT 1300 freighter is for it to be solid all the way to the front. Because the only reason to have the reason for the forks is because the forks are used to attach to freight, and then you push freight with the forks.
So it's a Falcon lifter. Well, with the forks.
Yes,
Like a
with the
fork
forks,
lift.
or yes, the
Forks for fork lifting.
Not really lifting, pushing, more pushing. The forks kind of go around. Like, say, here's your freight. The forks kind of go around, and then they lock onto the freight on the forks,
fly off.
and then you just fly off, and
Right.
the freight is attached to the forks.
Makes sense.
But if you have a YT 1300 freighter that doesn't push freight, then you may not have those forks opened up. So there's a number of different reasons, why people look, oh, it doesn't look like the Millennium Falcon. Well, it's the Millennium Falcon probably about the same time that Han gets the Millennium Falcon from Lando. And, if Lando didn't make any modifications, it would still look pretty stock from when Lando had it. Which is why, because there's a lot of blue highlights and stuff on it. It's got like blue paint, which obviously in the time between, depending on the kind of scraps Han gets into, the blue paint would have just worn off in the amount of time. I mean, you're like having a car forever and having people shoot at you. Your paint's not going to be looking too pristine.
Right. I mean, it makes sense that they did after winning the Kessel Run.
Right. Well, yeah,
he
we're
was
very
like,
the lead
hey,
here
let
is
me-
that obviously in Star Wars, Han Solo makes the big joke, which the joke is that a parsec is not a time, a parsec is a distance.
Right.
But he makes the joke as if it's a unit of time. He says, this is the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Oh.
But so the Kessel Run's always been heard of. The planet of the spice mines of Kessel is something we've always heard about, and we've seen in some books and stuff, but obviously we've never seen it in a movie. So the whole point is that this Lego set saying Kessel Run on it is either implying that the Kessel, we might actually see the Millennium Falcon make the infamous 12 parsec Kessel Run in the movie, or it's just a name that they put on the packaging for no reason because it's something that identifies with the Millennium Falcon.
I mean, it would make sense that they would be doing
Or it's at
that.
least mentioned in the movie.
Potentially. Or maybe we see the version.
Because Han never says that he made the Kessel Run. He said this is the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. He never specifically says that he made the Kessel Run.
True.
So
it might be
for
when,
all we know, Lando made the Kessel Run
that's
in
what I was
less
just
than
gonna
12
say.
parsecs.
Lando may have been the one that did it. How long did
I don't know. We don't know how long
did
Lando had
have the
ship.
Why did he have the ship? That's what I don't remember.
The only thing we know is how Han lost the ship to Lando
How's that?
in a game of Sabacc. Because Han is a better cheater than Lando.
Evidently. Wait, that's how Han got the ship from Lando?
Yeah, he lost it in a card game.
Gotcha.
All right, so this past Sunday was the Golden Globes. Did you watch it, Anthony?
Nope.
No, I was
Watching Star
watching Star Wars.
Oh, well, I watched it, actually. I wasn't planning to. I don't really have interest in all that kind of stuff. But I just found it interesting that it was making this big old deal. Everyone's wearing black or something. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that kind of crap. Anyway, the only thing important about it is the fact that Coco won for the best animated feature.
Wait, why were they wearing black?
We're not getting to that.
Okay.
If you already know about it, then you would know.
I'll have to read about it.
Yeah, you do that. So yeah, Coco won for Best Animated Feature, which was really, really cool.
Michael must be excited.
I'm pretty sure he is excited, but I think he's also sad because it didn't win for Best Song. That, of course, went to The Showman. Is that what it's called?
I haven't seen that.
Is that what it's called?
Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman. Thank you. So yes. So yeah, I was looking for those two categories, and I was hoping Coco got Best Song, but it didn't. But oh well, it did get the Best Animated Feature, which is really, really cool. Happy to see that. But of course, I still haven't seen Coco.
You still haven't seen the movie?
No, I have no transportation. I can't get anywhere.
I do have another friend. I mentioned him before, Jesse, that is a huge Star Wars fan, huge Marvel fan, but just in general a huge Disney fan. And he, I was telling him about Michael and how we were calling him Coco because he made this post about how he liked Coco better than The Last Jedi. And just in case anybody didn't get that last week, that's why we've been calling him Coco. And Jesse said that he agreed. And I was really surprised.
And he's still your friend?
Right? I haven't talked to him since he told me this, but, chances are we'll hang out again. But he said that he agreed, and he thought that Coco was the best movie of the year. I don't know.
I don't see how you can compare the two.
That's where I'm at. I don't know how you can even,
if you were to watch Star Wars and then you watch another sci-fi movie.
I could see somebody saying, Blade Runner was better than Star Wars.
I actually I heard a lot of people say that.
That's what I'm saying. If you're watching two different sci-fi movies.
But I can understand people saying that, though. It's a
sci-fi.
It's a comparison that would make sense. It's
right.
Fine. Okay, well then, maybe you obviously have you're part of the I hate the Last Jedi crowd, or maybe you have some more affinity to Blade Runner or something. But to say Coco is better than Star Wars, it's not even a fair comparison. The only reason he made that comparison is because he saw both of them back to back at a drive-in. So the only reason why he made the comparison, he probably wouldn't have made the comparison if he had seen Coco and saw Star Wars completely separately. He would not have even said that. The only reason he said it was because he saw them back to back at a drive-in. That's the only reason why he said it.
I wonder which one played first.
I think he saw Coco first.
Now, if you compared that earlier...
Now, imagine if he had seen the Olaf's Frozen Adventure, Coco, and Star Wars. Man, that would have been a full night. And then he probably would have said that Olaf's Frozen Adventure was at the bottom.
I'm going to go so far as to say that the reason that Michael liked Coco better was because it's a brighter movie, and he probably could see it. Well, whereas with The Last Jedi, he could probably see nothing until it got to that last scene on the planet. That's not really fair,
because Michael, if anything, I would think that Star Wars would be the louder of the two movies.
Right, but he doesn't have very good hearing.
Well, which is why Star Wars should have been better.
Agreed, but it's brighter, because, Coco's all those colors, right?
But this is the drive-through. Everything looks the same at the drive-in.
The drive-through at the drive-in?
Yes, the drive-through at the drive-in.
What if they had you had to leave your spot, you could still hear the movie, but you had to go through the drive-through to get your snacks?
I miss the drive-in snack bar when you go and you get the little box and you get your hot dog, and then you grab another hot dog, and then you go back and get another hot dog.
So you had 3 hot dogs?
Yes, basically, and popcorn.
But none of them had anything on them.
No, why would you put anything on them?
Don't start.
Ketchup and relish is my business. A lot of people like mustard, though.
Don't start.
I don't like mustard.
Mustard's bomb, but let's not start with
honey mustard, but not on a hot dog. On chicken.
Do you have a special occasion coming up? Looking to personalize your trip with a keepsake? Create customized buttons for birthdays, engagements, family vacations, even bridal parties, or just because. Check out buttonsbydiggs.com today. Buttons by Diggs, Buttons by Diggs. Remember, those are buttons, not pins.
Well, it's time for the mail. We're here again. We're here now. And people wrote us. Things are happening. My begging worked.
I don't know if your begging worked. It could have been my post about sending an email in today. I don't know. But we don't have any new emailers, just our regular emails, our regular emailers. And the first one is from Commander Cody.
Hey, Cody.
And his subject line is, I'm leaving on a jet plane.
Bye.
Do you know when you'll be back?
Maybe in this email he'll let us know.
Okay.
He says, hello, MousePIRE. Commander Cody reporting in. Sorry for not reporting in for a while. Had to lay low due to the controversy over The Last Jedi.
Oh,
Whoa.
boy. What controversy?
Uh-oh, does that mean he didn't like it?
He says no troopers out of place. Strict orders from Phasma. I mean, moving on. I mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. I'm going to Walt Disney World. I leave just after midnight this coming Friday. Does the MousePIRE crew know anything about Walt Disney World? And if so, what are your suggestions for me?
If you're staying at the resort, lock up your belongings.
I'll be sure to email in after I return with a full trip report. He says, "Tata for now. P.S. Does anyone else write their emails and think about how it's going to sound in Diggs' voice? Or is it just me?"
Whoa.
Bye.
Whoa, he's thinking about how your voice sounds, I guess.
Well, first of all, no one else writes emails. Second of all, there's a lot to say about Walt Disney World. It's bigger.
Third of all, Tim only hears emails in his own voice.
That was funny.
Okay. I hear everything in my voice. No, it's really big. There's not as much to do, if that makes sense. There's not as many attractions to go on. So unless you want to do a lot of stuff twice or three times, or like, I don't know, if you're used to going to Disneyland as an AP, you could spend 3 days at each park just kind of cruising around and checking everything out, you know, looking at all the nooks and crannies, so to speak. But if you really just want to do everything once, maybe a couple of the highlights twice, my best advice is to spend 1 day at each park. And if you have maybe a 5th day or a 6th day, I would do maybe, I would say you could split up all 4 parks and do them in 6 days, 1 day at each park with a couple of like evenings at other places. But I'd also say to not go to Orlando without experiencing some more of what they have to offer there. Orlando's got tons of stuff. If you're going this time of year, the parks are all going to be closing super early. That being said, if your evenings are open, something that's close and not too much, considering the amount of time, is you could get a season pass to the Fun Spot. They may also have like a 2-week pass too, but if you did that, then there's 2 fun spots in Orlando. I think there's an Orlando one and I don't know, they're all within like 5 miles right there. But there's 3 or 4 roller coasters and a bunch of other attractions, including a new roller coaster called the Mind Blower, which is at one of the Fun Spot locations. No, not Mind Blower. And it does an inversion. It goes upside down, a little bit like Twisted Colossus here in California, or at Six Flags Magic Mountain. But you could fill your evenings with doing this stuff if the parks are closed by 8 or 9, and you've got 2 or 3 hours.
And of course, there's Universal.
Well, Universal
and City Walk.
You should do 2 days at Universal no matter what. Universal with the Harry Potter stuff and a lot of the they've got a new King Kong Skull Island ride. They've got they've just got a ton there. The Harry Potter stuff is next level, a lot more than they have here in California. And if you really want to expand, you could spend even if you just did a half a day at SeaWorld, that's awesome. And then if you go about 100, I would say like 85 to 90 minutes south is Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay.
I would probably skip all those, and about that much time east is Cape Canaveral.
Oh.
You can go to Cape Canaveral and visit the Space Center there.
I just assumed people wanted to ride stuff. But
well, I mean, not everybody wants to go to...
And they might be able to ride the space shuttle.
Getting back specifically to the Disneyland Resort, just, you know...
Avatar, you got to check out, too.
Yeah, I mean, just if you have limited time at each park, remember that if you're going to skip a park...
Don't.
It would probably be Hollywood Studios, just because there's the least amount of stuff open right now.
But you got to do Tower there.
If you want to go there at least to get Tower, you got to see their Star Tours at least once. And
why?
Because of the
exterior.
The exterior.
Yeah, it's not the ride. Not the ride.
No. The exteriors of the Star Tours is worth going over there just for that. Just the shop being the facades on the shop and the AT-AT and all that cool stuff over there.
There's a speeder bike you can get on and take pictures.
Right.
He's right, though. I've never been on their Star Tours. I've never actually done the attraction. but I have gone there. I've been 3 times, I guess, and every time it's amazing. Just to look.
That Indiana Jones stunt show is closed now, right? It's been closed.
It's just closed.
Right.
We talked about that earlier.
I think so.
Yeah, that was kind of a bummer. But
it was a great show. But nonetheless, there's their Toy Story there is worth doing.
So make sure you budget your time to try and go on the stuff that's not here.
True.
That's your best thing, I would think.
Well, you get to pre-book 3 fast passes a day. They let you pre-book them. So if you're planning on spending, let's say, Monday at Magic Kingdom, pick the 3 things that you want to go on the most, like Space Mountain, the Mine Train, and Mansion, for instance, or Thunder. I don't know why would Thunder be there if it's the same as here. It's just a mirror image. But let's say those 3, for instance, and you book those passes, and then you try to go on the stuff that's not as long of a wait in between. Magic Kingdom has the most attractions of any of the parks, so you could pretty easily do them. You could pretty easily spend the whole day there, literally morning to night. Plus, that's where they have a really great fireworks show at night, and there's a projection show in the castle. Hollywood Studios, especially right now with a lot of stuff being closed, you could do half a day at Hollywood Studios, but there's still enough there that you want to book your 3 fast passes. You're going to want to do Tower, I'd say once or twice. It's the best tower anywhere. There's a whole section where the car moves forward, and there's like a Twilight Zone thing where the light splits down the center, and it looks like you're like moving through. Oh, it's really,
awesome.
really, really awesome. So the Rock and Roller Coaster, and then I don't know if you had to pick a third there. What would it be?
Of what's left open?
Yeah.
Star Tours?
Yeah, maybe Star Tours. I don't know. There's not a lot. Maybe Toy Story would be the third.
Toy Story?
Yeah. Toy Story Mania is there in that park.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know
and
that.
Again, it would be worth doing just to see their queue. The queue is awesome.
Oh, okay.
And then if you did a day at Animal Kingdom, again, you really only need half a day at Animal Kingdom. Maybe the second half of the day.
Don't you need like half that day just to stand in the lines at Avatar, though?
Well, if you book your fast passes early enough for this, you can get the Avatar, their long experience, plus Expedition Everest, and then God, I don't know what your third one. Maybe Dinosaur, even though that's not a long. That's an okay attraction. It's basically Indiana Jones.
Wait, you got
traveling
2 rides on just an Avatar, though, don't you?
One doesn't have a long queue, from what I understand. It's maybe an hour or something. But I would do maybe the second half of the day there. If you can get stuff done in another park in the morning, or use the other morning for something else. Maybe you go to SeaWorld for half a day or something. I don't know. But they, or Disney Springs even, whatever it is. But they do have a great nighttime show. I haven't seen it yet, but it's supposed to be amazing. Sort of over, the seating is sort of over by Dinosaur and the Expedition Everest on that side, but the Tree of Life's in the background and stuff. It's supposed to be incredible.
Oh, speaking of Disney Springs, if you get over to Cody, if you get over to Jock's Hangar, what's it called?
I don't know.
I know you're talking about, but I don't.
Whatever, Jock's Hangar, I think isn't that what it's called? Jock Lindsley's
Probably.
Hangar or something like that.
Oh, this is the airplane themed restaurant.
Yeah, the
I
Indiana
haven't
Jones
seen it yet.
themed restaurant bar. He needs to get over there and bring us coasters.
There you go. Bring some coasters.
Ooh.
All right. Thank you for your email, Commander Cody. Appreciate that. And we can't wait to hear how your trip was. All right. Next email is from Dan the Man. And his subject line is...
We miss you, Dan.
His subject line is, with half the park closed, is it half price?
He knew where we were going with this one.
No, but you could buy one, get one half, or you can get 2 for the price of 1.
There you go. All right. He says, hey, guys. Well, back to work for me. Glad I was able to get on a few podcasts while I was on vacation. It's always a good time. Haven't been able to get to the park this year yet. It's been, 9 days, and you haven't got to the park yet? What's up with that?
Dan, you're slipping.
I was there on the 3rd.
Dan did tell us he would not be there on the Sunday, but
I was there on the 6th.
I thought he would get there on the Saturday. You were there 6th, too?
Yeah.
I was there.
I was there.
Man, you need to communicate better.
I told you
I
he
was
was
with
there.
people.
Oh, me too.
All right. He says, hopefully this weekend. So maybe, hey, he's just communicating with you. He'll try to get to this weekend.
Dan, I don't think I'll be there.
All right. So he says, The Last Jedi clocked in with 4 viewings for myself. Still get the same feelings every time that I see it. I've seen some people review The Void, the Star Wars experience, and it's been good. I will be there on the 20th and will hopefully review it for the podcast.
That might be the day I'm there. Dan, you're going to have to, when you listen to this, remind me what time you're going. Maybe we can link up. And also, if you're only going with 2 people, maybe I can try to get a spot at the same time as you.
He says, now that the boardwalk is closed and the main street is going to be torn up to replace the tracks, how busy do you think the parks will possibly...
I think well, to answer his questions, I think it's going to appear busier even if it's not.
I think that's what he's trying to say. He said, how busy do you think the parks will be with possible congestion on Main Street and the whole land down at DCA?
I think that they might permanently open, or at least more often use the back.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Right.
I was actually going to say that last year, but I forgot last year. Well, last year too, but I was going to say that last time we were talking about it last week. No, not earlier, but last week, I think, when we first talked about it, but I forgot.
You know, if they just kept those open, I mean, the problem is if they keep them open, they need to man them.
Right.
And it's not a straight shot that you can see all the way through.
Right.
So realistically, they need a cast member with an eye shot of each other.
Well, they're supposed to have at least one cast member near each of those doors, the exit doors.
Right.
Well,
because all those exit doors exit backstage.
They don't lock.
And they don't lock.
Right.
Well, he goes on to say, also, we saw more blackout dates coming to the SoCal passes. Does it spell the end of that pass?
Again?
To lighten the crowds. I heard Michael was going to upgrade to be able to get into his own events. Hopefully, see you at the parks this weekend, Dan out. Well, we did talk about last year, I can say last year, that the
by last year, he means 2 weeks ago.
No, I meant maybe 6 months ago, maybe possibly 7, that on the information on the passes, it says up to these days that you'll get like a deduct passes up to this day. You don't you'll get, I don't know how many
it's not
days.
saying that you're guaranteed 185 days. It's saying you can get up to 185 days worth of entry.
Exactly, because they changed the wording on all the pass information. So
if you read those bullet points on those things, things are different. Things are definitely different.
Yeah.
They're heading into or potentially leaving themselves open the ability to make drastic changes to the system.
Yeah, they can change the date anytime they want. Right. You know, if you're not blocked out on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in April, all of a sudden you check the next week and you are, well, you can't do anything about it because it already says on there that they can do it whenever they want.
Well, that's agreed. Yeah, no, it used to be that if you bought your pass on July 1st, that it was good until the next July 1st, and the blockout days that they provided you on the day that you bought it were the ones that they had to adhere to all year.
Right.
Aside from emergency situations like the park, capacity or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But now they can make changes to the blockouts at any time.
Yes.
Including for the signature. The only pass that guarantees you no blockout days is the Signature Plus.
Yeah, because that's when I saw the wording on there. I was all, even the Signature has that same wording.
Of blockout days can be changed at any time.
It didn't say that. It said
additional blockouts may be added.
It said something like you're blocked out 2 weeks, and then it had a little extra wording saying, or
I think it says that blockout periods may be extended with new attraction openings or something like that.
I don't know. This was back then, so I'll
tell you what. This is why I just upgraded. I upgraded to the Plus for the first time just because I didn't want to miss. I didn't want to miss anything.
Okay, Aerosmith.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I just think they're just going to keep adding more blockout dates to the other passes.
I will say that the parks have been emptier than they were a year ago.
It's been raining.
No, I don't mean like in the last 3 days. I mean that over the holiday period. We talked about this last week. Over the holiday period, it's been.
Well, I was there Saturday. It was really busy.
It was busy, but
in Disneyland. That is.
I didn't get to Disneyland until like 8 o'clock or something, but it was busy, but it wasn't. In my opinion, it wasn't like, where you're crammed.
Yeah, I mean it was still busy, but
I wonder how Sunday was stupid. Apparently.
Oh, Oh, yeah. We warned everybody about going on Sunday. All right, next email is from Michael the Mail Guy. Says, Michael the Wet Mail Guy here.
Hi, Coco.
Ew.
Nothing much to say since I have not been at the parks, but I can talk about Six Flags Magic Mountain and its rides. He laughs. Says, don't forget, support the podcast. Share the show with everyone. We need your help. Do your part. The Dirty Award. All right, time for Michael's Dirty Award.
Is it me again?
The Dirty Award goes to Tim.
Oh, my goodness.
Just because I don't have no Dirty Awards today.
Like just by default.
I guess so. All right, question. Or questions.
Should Michael go see Star Wars The Last Jedi in a proper movie theater? Yes. The answer is that he should.
When it rains a lot like today, how does Disney control the rise in water at Rivers of America, Grizzly Rapids, and Paradise Bay?
I think the answer is that it never rains enough for the water level to rise by that much.
Well, what about last year when it flooded the park? That was a lot of rain to flood Main Street.
Yeah, but they have drainage. It's just a matter of the drainage can't handle the amount of water, which is why it backs up.
I have drainage too.
The bile. The drainage system is old. It's from the 50s, right? And it can't handle too much water at once, which is why that the street would back up, in certain situations. But if you look at these waterways, none of them are like right, Anthony? None of the park's waterways are so high up that they would easily overflow. I mean, all of them have a good foot or two.
The park is actually designed almost perfectly, where all of the drains are lower points than anywhere else,
except Main Street.
No, Main Street's the same way. There's just some places, because it's older and because the railroad tracks cause things to kind of raises up towards the railroad tracks naturally. Not the railroad tracks, but the trolley tracks.
In the center.
It kind of raises up towards the tracks in the center. That's what seemingly causes Main Street to look like that. But they may have just had problems, like you said. The drains are old. They work properly, but they're just old.
Yeah,
as opposed to Knott's Berry Farm, where all of their drains are higher than everything else. Ooh. I have the easy answer right now. It's called pumps.
Yeah, well, that too.
Well, Paradise Bay over there, you can just, they drain the water all the time, and they lower the water down.
Literally on a daily basis.
Yeah.
They can raise it in one, not even a day, like an hour or something. They
right.
pump it out.
So, that's easy over there.
They probably have, in fact, I know for a fact that they have storage tanks that the certain level of the water can just be stored and then pumped back in pretty quickly.
Probably, yeah.
If you've ever seen the water get pumped into Rivers of America, it literally fills halfway up, like in the afternoon. Next question.
What disasters would force Disneyland to close down? 9/11 or 9/11?
9/11. Major earthquake might do it. What are the 3 times that it's closed in history? It was the Kennedy being shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's more for national mourning. 9/11 is like half national mourning, half safety precaution. And then what's the third?
Rain.
I don't think it's been shut down.
Yes, it was.
For rain.
Yes, it was.
I only think it's 3 times in history. The third one was rain.
I don't know about the third time, but I know that they shut down for rain. But yeah, you can just think anything like that. And if we had a big old tornado, that would probably shut it down too.
I don't think we get those here.
Oh, yes, we do. Where you been? All right. So next question. Do you see the new Disney 5-star hotel a positive or a negative?
I think that it's a positive over time. It's a negative in the meantime. It's going to be a big pain in the butt.
It in the long run, once it's open and going, it's going to be cool and probably look nice and everything. But in the meantime, it's going to be a pain in the ass because of all the closures and, as we were alluding to earlier, tunnels and no man's lands and crap everywhere. It's going to be basically like Star Wars, but closer to where people walk.
But yeah, once it's done, it'll be cool. I think that some people might get the impression that the Disneyland hotel will be negatively impacted, but
Well, it'll be only negatively impacted depending on how they manage to do the walkway.
No, I mean like the views from the rooms and all that.
Well, I mean the seems like the new hotel going by the is going to be lower, but it depends. Yeah, if it blocks people's view of the park, then yeah, maybe people in the hotels.
Is there park view rooms from the Disneyland Hotel? I don't think you can even see. I mean, I think you can see like Big Thunder's Peak or the Matterhorn maybe, but that's about it.
All right, random question. If you can sit in any area of a ride to relax while the ride is in operation, what ride would it be and where would you sit?
Inside of a ride while it's operating?
To relax.
Like
to relax?
On the ride or like in a...
Okay, well, first I have my first one's easy automatically. It's I want to be in the pirate bed.
on the bed.
I want to be in the bed
with the real skull.
I'm going to just be laying there on the bed while people float by.
That's funny. That's funny.
Hey, look, mommy, a fat guy.
That is funny.
That's pretty good. That's a good spot. I was thinking like a rocking chair next to the dog, also on Pirates.
Oh, okay. Where Michael Jackson used to get on?
Is that where you get on?
The rocking chair.
You're just making stuff up.
No, that's where he used to get on the ride. Was right there by the rocking chair guy.
Oh,
the old man.
A rocking chair guy?
The old man.
Before you go down.
Before you get to the first drop, there's the old man on the left. You have the little walkway up and over, and then there's the little house right there. That's where Michael Jackson used to get on the ride. Was right there,
so that nobody else would have to bug in.
Right.
Or whatever.
I don't know how they stopped it there, but that's how they did. That's where he got on.
They use an anchor.
Ah, yes. And then you have to do the pirate shuffle to get it going again.
I'm wondering where else there's where else would be cool. There's a couple spots.
I'm trying to think of Haunted Mansion. Probably just chilling somewhere in the graveyard, maybe on a lawn chair or
by the cake. Sitting by the cake in the ballroom.
Okay.
Oh, you want to be in the ballroom?
Yeah, sitting by the cake.
At the cake. Just sit at the table.
Yeah.
I think right in front of the table in front of Madame Leota, like just get like a rocking chair there, and then you can just, as people like go around you in a circle, you could just like talk to them. Hey guys, how's it going? How's your day going so far?
Hurry back.
Or that, yeah, you could mess with them. Or right at the end of Mansion, where the hurry back girl is. Don't forget your death certificate.
Basically, we all want to hang on Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Anywhere where you could like Johnny Depp did when he was Jack and the ride.
I can't think of any other rides I would just want to hang on.
I know. I was trying to think too.
Small World.
No.
As torture.
No.
Yeah. If you had to pick one place you wouldn't want to go, would it be Small World?
There's a bunch of places that I wouldn't mind having like a lawn chair and just chilling over there at Grizzly Rapids under a tree. A lot of places that look like it'd be nice, cool by the tree.
There's a couple spots inside of the Monsters Inc. ride, like in the bathroom there with the where the lizard goes on and off. I'd like to sit like on the. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool
I don't want to hear
spot.
about your lizard in the bathroom.
Oh, Pooh.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
there's some cool places to hang out in Pooh.
There's one specifically really cool place to hang out in Winnie the Pooh.
I know, because I've walked around the whole entire inside of the Pooh attraction, so I know all the cool spots inside there.
Were you cleaning Pooh?
I mopped Pooh.
You mopped up Pooh?
I mopped all of Pooh.
Oh. That would be something fun to do on acid. Mop up Pooh.
Now, Michael the Mail Guy's Tip of the Week.
All right, now it's time for Michael's Tip of the Week. Always buy Disney movies that come with digital downloads. I like to watch them on the go. I like to watch them with some snow. Just kidding. He didn't say that. I just thought I'd do a little Dr. Seuss there. Okay, I like to watch them on the go. I like to watch them when I'm in a boring place. What kind of boring place are you in, Michael?
His living room.
I like to watch them.
You know how much time Michael spends at the hospital.
I like to watch them while in line for a ride. I hate people who are watching stuff in line for rides and stuff because they're watching their damn tablets and they're not paying attention. Come on, Michael.
That and the people who play that stupid game on their forehead.
Heads up.
I like the heads up game.
Not in a queue,
You would.
though.
You can take it anywhere and even download them to your phone to watch without using your data. Disney is using a new app called Movies Anywhere. The Disney Movies app will be gone soon.
That's true.
Wait, can you explain this?
The Disney Movies Anywhere app is going to be going away because it's all of the ultraviolet stuff is going to be absorbed into one app called Movies Anywhere.
Invest in digital download Disney movies so you can watch them anywhere. Till then, this is Michael the Mail Guy saying bye.
Bye.
I'm going to invite everyone once again to message us. This time, it's about something specific. The guys and I were talking earlier about a possible supplementary podcast to MousePIRE.
Sure.
The idea was that the three of us would sit around and watch the Star Wars films, most likely starting with New Hope in the proper order. I think we've all agreed before that's 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, and then 7, 8, and Rogue One.
I still having to say where Rogue One belongs in the viewing order, but
I don't know where Rogue One belongs. Maybe first even.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but nonetheless, we would sit and watch these films. You'd be able to hear the audio of the film in the background.
No, you wouldn't.
I think. Well, otherwise it's just us talking without them knowing what's going on.
No, they're supposed to walk. They're supposed to watch along. We can't have it really playing in the background because it's.
You'd have to be able to hear a little bit of it.
No, they wouldn't. They just have to. We have to say, okay, press play now, and then they have to watch along. Every commentary podcast I've ever heard, you've never been able to hear what they're watching in the background. Maybe if they stop talking long enough and you hear a little bit, like on in a couple of ones that I've heard Kevin Smith do, maybe you can hear it a little bit in the background. But for the most part, you don't ever hear what they're listening to because you're supposed to be watching along, in theory, or you're supposed to know the movie well enough that you know what they're talking about. Because in theory, you're not really supposed to have anything. You're not supposed to be able to hear anything because it's because of the copyrights. I mean, obviously, since we're talking over it, we're not going to have any problem with YouTube. We wouldn't have any problem with YouTube.
I was thinking light in the background volume so that they could, they could hear.
Well, we want to have it. It's going to be loud enough where we can hear it, but they might hear it every once in a while when we stop talking. But we're not intentionally putting the volume up on it where they can hear it.
Agreed. Yeah. Now that we've sorted that out, nonetheless, and you'd get to hear the three of us jabber on and give our opinions about what we're seeing in the background. Or in your foreground, our background. Anyway, if you have an opinion about that, or if you think that you'd watch it, or listen to it, rather.
Or if there's any other movies besides Star Wars movies you guys would love to hear us do commentary on.
Yeah, we could do it.
Specifically, hopefully, Star Wars or Disney movies.
If there's something you'd prefer, maybe we could do one Disney one.
I mean, there's old ones that we can basically do any movie because I have almost the whole catalog of. No, except for maybe some recent stuff, I have the whole catalog of Disney movies going all the way back to the stuff that's not even on video. Like, if you wanted us to do a black hole commentary, we can definitely do that.
No, we couldn't.
Okay, well, you're not invited.
Oh, damn. I was trying to be funny, but I think I screwed myself. Anyway, it's just something we were talking about. Supplementary. Wouldn't interfere with the normal podcast, but it's something that we could do. If you think that you would listen, or if you think that would be interesting, please write us a message. Or I had another idea. Send us a video message. Maybe writing things like with text is too much trouble for people. So just like turn the camera on yourself and record a short video, and then we could, as long as it's appropriate, play it on the air as the question instead of in Dig's voice. Commander Cody could hear his own voice on the podcast, or any of the rest of you. Well, moving on, we thought it was a good idea. Maybe you do too. Let us know about it.
Yeah.
All right, so just like Michael the Mail Guy said, help support the podcast. Visit patreon.com. And, last week we talked about how everything's falling apart over here and we can use some help. So if you guys will be able to help support the podcast, you can visit patreon.com/MousePIRE and give any type of donation there. You can do Michael the Mail Guy special, $3 donation. $3 will go a long way, and we would really appreciate that. Or, you know what? You can also just email us if you guys are, because Patreon basically is a per month thing. So if you're giving like $3 or $5 or $10 a month, if you guys don't want to do it a monthly thing, that's fine. And you guys do want to give something, all you have to do is email us and say, you know what? I'd rather just give you just whatever, $20 for now or whatever. you can email us and we'll give you our PayPal that you guys can use to send that. So all you have to do is email us.
MousePIRE@gmail.com.
Or send us a message on our Facebook page.
And we were talking about YouTube earlier. You can find our podcast on YouTube. All you have to do is search MousePIRE Podcast on YouTube, or just go to our MousePIRE Facebook page, and it's right there on the pinned post. Under our recent episode, you can find the link to our MousePIRE, our YouTube channel. And you can listen to our awesome podcast on YouTube if you do not want to try to work Stitcher and all those other platforms. So YouTube is another base you can listen to us on.
Realistically, the Apple podcast apps and the Google has a podcast app, I'm sure, as well.
Well, the Google Play one is the one that we've still never been able to figure out how to find our podcast on there.
We're on there,
supposedly.
But we're also on Spotify, and you can check us out there. And we are on TuneIn, so you can find us there. I don't know how all that stuff is working because I believe on Spotify I only see a few episodes. I don't see a whole list of all of our episodes, so I don't know how that all works. But
I don't have Spotify, so I can't tell you.
Well, I don't have it either. I just got it because we got it on there. So
right.
I don't know how all that works, but if you guys can find our episodes on Spotify, that's great. If not, just, hey, you can hit the Libsyn link that we post on our Facebook page when our podcast comes out, and you can listen directly from there. So
yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to get our podcast to play by voice command on the Echo. Dan asked me to try and figure out how to get our podcast and his podcast to play. I'm still trying to figure out what the correct terminology is. Apparently, she's not responding to Alexa, play the MousePIRE podcast. What did she play?
I don't know. All right, so yeah, you can check out those other platforms and for our podcast, check those out, and yeah, go over to YouTube, subscribe, and enjoy the podcast there too.
Do you have a special occasion coming up? Looking to personalize your trip with a keepsake? Create customized buttons for birthdays, engagements, family vacations, even bridal parties, or just because. Check out buttonsbydiggs.com today. Buttons by Diggs, Buttons by Diggs. Remember, those are buttons, not pins.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the MousePIRE podcast. Yeah.
Bye.
Hey.
Adios.
Not yet.
Okay,
we're almost
sorry.
there.
Sorry.
Hey, don't forget APs. Go get your popcorn bucket if that's what you're into.
Or don't if you don't think you'll make your money back.
Make your money back. You know what? Some people actually do make their money back because they'll get it, but put it on eBay and say that they can get dollar refills, never mentioning it's only for annual pass holders.
Do people do that?
Yes, they do.
I believe it.
I've seen it. That's dirty.
Dirty.
Crazy.
Michael.
Obviously, you have to show your pass.
I know, but they put it on
eBay, yeah.
But they put it on eBay saying that you can get a dollar refill with the popcorn bucket, never mentioning that it's for annual pass holders only.
Well, okay, so I'll speak from only my own experience. We had a couple people ask us to pick these buckets up previously. I think it was the one that just said AP all over it, and or maybe, and there was a Marvel one, I think, as well. You were asked to pick it up, and then the people, stopped responding, right? So we put them on eBay, which normally we don't do a lot of eBay, but we put them on there, and they sold. But, in the title it says, Disney Annual Pass Holder Popcorn Bucket. So I don't know that we put it in the description that you have to be an AP to get the refills. I mean, I would just assume that anybody would know that if it's a pass holder popcorn bucket.
No, people don't know. You should know by now. They don't know. They're not going to look at the title and say, oh, this is for annual pass holders. Oh, it said I can get a dollar refill.
Yeah,
hey, come on. We know how people are.
I don't know why they wouldn't just buy it themselves then. I would assume that anybody buying this is somebody they're not local.
The other ones went really quick. The Electrical Parade sold out. Boom, they put on eBay, you can get this and get a dollar refill, and people are buying that.
I mean, the ones that we put on eBay were for was $22 plus shipping or whatever. When you calculate eBay fees into that, I think we make $4.
Then why even do it?
It's just because we already had them and they're not returnable.
So yeah, get to the parks if you guys want to get those popcorn buckets, and don't forget that the They will be on sale until February 4th, and you will be able to get the refills for $1 until March 1st. All right, don't forget that there's a lot of refurbishment going on, and Paradise Pier is going to turn into Pixar Pier, so a lot of construction going to be going on over there until spring and summer. So just know that's going on, and don't complain that half the park's closed. Because if you're one of those persons that are going to complain that half the park's closed, then just don't go. That's all I got to say. Don't go.
Then don't go.
Exactly.
More space for the rest of us.
Exactly. And over at Launch Bay, real quick, Anthony, they were giving out some cards.
Yes, they were giving out the Galaxy's Edge cards.
Are these the same ones that they gave out at the Walt Disney World, at the Hollywood Studios?
That's what I'm guessing, that they're the same ones, or they're at least probably similar.
I've heard
Even
there's a new Star Tours card that creates a map, and part of it is the Jedi experience.
Oh.
And there's a map on the back.
I don't know about that, but I just heard that they're giving out cards at starting, what did I say, last week?
Yeah, the first.
The third, yeah, the first. They were giving out, they've been giving out cards at Launch Bay that are for Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, I think that's
the one.
Yeah, that's them.
That's one of them.
That's Galaxy's Edge.
Is the map on the back?
Yeah, those are them. Yeah, they're for Galaxy's Edge. So they're giving out those here now. Apparently, I don't know if they're the exact same ones from Florida, or at least they're part of the same set.
Well, the good thing about that, if that's the same ones that are giving out in Florida, you don't have to go on eBay and buy them for $50.
Exactly, especially if they're exactly the same ones.
Yeah.
Remember the ones they did in Frontierland? There was one woman specifically that was hoarding them in the groups, and on eBay she got herself kicked out of like every group. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know.
She was going around and collecting like dozens of the Frontierland map, the ones that were before Phantasmic.
Yeah,
came back,
right.
And was selling the set on eBay and in the groups for like $8 or whatever. I mean, she's trying to make some extra money, but it didn't come off very well. A lot of the admins booted her.
All right, so yeah, you go over to Launch Bay and check it out and see if they have those cards, and if we get some pictures of the cards, we'll go ahead and post those up so you guys can see that.
All right, well, if you want to find out what we're going to have going on and all that sort of stuff or anything, be sure to check out our social medias. We are MousePIRE on Facebook, at MousePIRE on Instagram and the Twitters. I am at Dubacks for Life. That is Dubacks, the number 4 Life. That is on Twitter. Follow me. Follow.
Follow him. I don't have Twitter.
You will follow me.
It's funny to me that you sing so much. You can find me on Facebook. I'm the only one with the name Tim Fresh One. That's TIMFRESH-ONE.
Not to be confused with all those dudes named Tim Fresh 2.
There's some of them apparently. Yeah, Tim Fresh One on Facebook. I'm the only one on Facebook with that name. Also, you can join our Disney fan page as Mouse Lovers 1313. You can answer our fun questions. And this guy?
All right, you can follow me on Instagram at Baloo1313, and also follow Buttons by Diggs on Instagram. There you will see when your button order is going out. And I have a button order that went out, and I still haven't posted the picture. But hey, I'll get to it someday. There's a lot of things I don't get to, and I just, I forget things. But eventually I will post pictures when you order your buttons and the order goes out. So Buttons by Diggs on Instagram, and my own personal is Baloo1313. Don't forget to visit patreon.com/MousePIRE. Help support the podcast, and you can also enjoy the podcast on YouTube. Search MousePIRE Podcast on YouTube, or just head on over to our Facebook page, and the link that is there posted in the pinned post. There you go.
Hashtag buttons, not pins. And until next time, remember, if you're going to complain about what percentage of the park is closed, at least learn geometry. Oh, wait, is it trigonometry? No. Algebra 2? Well, whatever, never mind. So for Finn, Rose, and DJ, I'm Anthony.
I'm Tim.
I'm Diggs.
Bye.
We're doomed.
Didn't we meet in algebra?
We did, yes.
This podcast is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. Audio, sound bites, and other clips are property of their copyright holders. All original stuff is ours and property of MousePIRE.com.
Bye.
Hot tub.
Hot tub time machine. You want to do that one?
No.
We're going to play Frisbee?